guys, welcome back to Von Kettle Kitchen. So I had an eventful day at work today, so I'm going to do something that's super easy. I am doing a lasagna soup. There's a bunch of ingredients into it, but the nice thing about it, it's pretty much a dump meal. You just dump everything right into the pot and just let it cook away. So let's get started. All the ingredients laid out just to make it easier for myself. So I'm using a jarred Prego sauce. It's the only one I have left in my pantry before I start using my personal sauce. I'm going to use that. I have my own broth that I've made, my own diced tomatoes. I always get tomato paste in a tube. One, it lasts much, much longer and you don't have to worry about emptying out an aluminum can and putting it in a plastic container. All the herbs, and then I have the pot. So, we're going to do a couple turns of olive oil, and we're going to turn this on to medium-high heat. Once that gets warm, I'm going to add the pound of hamburger that I have, and then I'm going to brown that up, and then I'll add the onions and garlic into it. So, let's wait for the pan to heat. Hamburger is in the pot. I'm going to spread it out. Alright, I'm going to let this brown up. So now I'm going to add in the onions and the garlic. Give that a good stir. And this is so the onions and the garlic can cook in some of that beef fat. This is 80-20 ground beef. So we're going to let that saute and keep browning. While that continues to brown, I have oven-ready lasagna noodles. That's just what I have in the pantry. But if you have regular lasagna noodles, you want at least 10 of them. So this is the fun part. We get to break them. And you want them to be about the same size because it is going inside of a soup. You don't want super mushy noodles. You can put them in a bag if you want to. Kind of crush them up. So. I have some escapees. All right, and the last batch. Check on this. We are getting there. So it's going to brown for a couple more minutes. It's all nice and brown, so I'm actually going to open up a spot of the pan to put the tomato paste in. So the tomato paste has been sitting in a tube. You want to wake it up. We need 2 tablespoons. Kind of eyeball it a little bit. And before you start adding in the other ingredients, you just want to mix it in there until you can smell the fragrance of the tomatoes. And that just helps wake up the flavor and all of the nice depthness that tomato paste gives a dish. Alright, I can smell the tomato paste. So let's keep adding. Now we have 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. I'm actually going to turn down the heat to low real quick because I have so much to add in. We have a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of parsley, a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon, you can add as much as you want though, for some spice. A 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We are going to do a tablespoon of basil. 1 bay leaf. I'm going to put a couple in there because they're broken. Now stir this around so the spices can get the heat. And what the sugar does, 1, it sweetens it a little bit, and 2, it also helps cut the acid down of the tomatoes. So, I'm now going to add in, I have my own jar of Italian diced tomatoes I've done. I will link the diced tomato canning recipe in the bottom of the description. I'm going to put the whole jar, bear with me, I gotta switch hands, whole jar of Prego in there. So, just a tip, because I'm using this, I don't want to waste any of that goodness. You paid for it, right? So, I'm going to originally put 6 cups of stock in, but I'm going to put it inside of the Prego jar, and I'm going to shake it up. That way you can get all the rest of that tomato sauce that was in there. Cover it. I'm going to add it in. See how now you can see through the jar? Perfect tip, and you're not wasting any of the goodies. So let's see, I had 8, 2, 4, 6. More cups in there. So I have 8 cups of stock set aside, and that's because you don't want to have a super thin sauce with this. I kind of like my soups a little thick, so I guess, as Rachel Ray would say, a stew. Alright, and I have to measure out 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. Putting you guys to the side just so I can measure this out. Balsamic vinegar gives a great depth of flavor. And you want an acid inside of anything that you kind of really make. It helps enhance the flavor. And we're going to give this a stir. Turn the heat back up to in between medium and medium high. And we're going to add the noodles in. So this is going to cook for about 20 minutes. Get all that in. Let me show you what it looks like. And the noodles will absorb some of this liquid, which is fine. That's why we have the reserved stock. So we're going to let this come back up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer for about 20 minutes, and then we'll shut off the heat, add our heavy cream, and any more stock if we want to make it thicker. So, we'll return. My mess. So I'm just going to stir this. You want to stir this occasionally because you don't want anything sticking to the bottom. And it is already starting to thicken up because of the starch of the noodles, which is great. So this has another 25 minutes to go. So I'm going to try to find the bay leaf, maybe. So, can't find the bay leaf, so I'll keep an eye out for it. So I turn the heat down to medium-low because it's a simmer. I'm going to add in a half a cup of heavy cream, and I am going to add a little more stock in because the cream will help thicken it. Let's give it a stir. Still don't see that bay leaf. I know it's in there. I put it in. Oh, there's one. Come here, little feller. All right. So that's not working for me. Got it. That's one. I know there's two because there were half and halves. All right. Oh, and I found the other one. Okay. You don't ever want to bite into a bay leaf because they are very bitter and very strong. So I'm going to let this heat through for about 60 seconds and then we're going to serve. Right? So I have bowled it up with some 6 Italian shredded cheese, some Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of chiffonade parsley. You can just do chopped parsley, that's fine as well. Let me know how you guys like it. Enjoy!